All set? All right. It being 6 o'clock, I will call this meeting of the North Brookfield Board of Selectmen to order. It's Tuesday, October 7th. If you'll all join me in saluting the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, we have approval of minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of 9/23/25.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. And then we have the meeting that we had with the inspectors regarding the inspection software or permitting software. So I will entertain a motion to approve those minutes of September 24th.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve payroll warrant number 7 for $367,842.18. School warrant number 1028 for $244,112.49. General fund number 1029 for $300,917.95. And the projects warrant number 1030 for $531,547.11.
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We have no financial items to discuss at the moment. Old business, strap grant. Jamie, do you want to talk about that?
Don't we all?
Don't we all?
Well, we got the letter.
Yep.
And I mean, quite frankly, this grant is kind of what prompted us to try to understand the grant process a little bit more and how it was being done and kind of tracked and understanding it. And as we kind of walk through some of the details of it, there's some roadblocks. And the roadblock we get to, you typed it out for me, really was the matching portion of the grant. And the matching portion of the grant includes a in-kind donation, a match of $169,683.33 to be done by the North Brookfield Highway Department. And when that's broken down, thank you, Mary Beth, it's $151,083.33 in unclassified evacuation, $9,000 in 4-inch reflectorized white line painted, $9,600 in 12-inch reflectorized white line painted. Includes 1 superintendent, 3 employees, that's, so, essentially, for what we have for a highway crew, I mean, I would say that 3/4 of the year will be spent doing nothing but sidewalks. And I guess a little concern is to how we got here. I'm sorry, I'm reading while I'm talking. And I understand that this was originally a somewhat of a group effort, that was in cooperation with Mr. Jeff Howland of CMRPC. And, you know, I guess my first trouble with this was was how the plan was going to interact with the municipal paving project. And the understanding that the municipal paving project was going to be put off until certain things were done. And those certain things included water department changing some gate valves, some storm drain frames possibly being changed out, some requirements from the sewer department, and you know, my personal feeling is that grant money, both on a state and federal level, are a bit uncertain right now. And based on my conversations with the DOT in the past few months, I've certainly feel pretty confident that I wasn't too far from what is going on. So I chaired a meeting with CMRPC. Mr. Howland was here, and at that point the board had already made a decision that we were not going to hold up the municipal paving project. We were not going to hold up paving Main Street. And as you're going through talking to the different folks, water department had no plans on changing any gate valves. So I don't know where CMRPC got that, but talked to Jamie personally. Nope, don't want to touch it, don't want to do it. Talked to Eric. Don't really have much to do, don't want to stand in the way of it. Talked to Randy as far as frames and some of the items that needed to be done. There really wasn't much work there, and at the end of the day, talked to DDC. At the end of the day, no one wanted to stand in the way of the paving. So we made a decision, we came back here, I chaired a meeting, Jeff talked again about this coordinated project after we had made a decision, which was a bit concerning because we had already made a decision that the paving needed to get done. I corrected him in this meeting, and personally reached out to the DOT, personally reached out to the project leader for the municipal paving, said, when you're ready, come. We're not going to stand in the way. There's nothing in the way. And at that point, the paving was off. The DOT was going to pull the plug and come back some other time. And with everything going on with state, federal funds, no. It's now. We need it now. So, very reasonable guy, got it back on. Everybody seemed in line with this. All the parties in town here, and then some of the details for the grant. You know, as far as what the matching end of this, and I guess I've got Randy and Kim here, and the $151,000. Seems pretty steep for the highway department. And I guess my question is I guess how do we get here? How do we commit that much of the highway department's resources to get this done?
Well, we can't.
Well, and I've asked this question, and I invite you to. I'm asking again. How do we get here?
Honestly, I don't believe we were ever asked about it. I don't remember having a conversation with anybody about that.
Yeah, I don't think it came up until we got the final grant paperwork that said we had to match. It never came up?
That would kill my budget.
Sure would.
Well,
Oh, absolutely.
not only kill your budget, but you wouldn't be doing much of anything else.
I wouldn't be doing anything else, because there'd be no money to do anything.
So so looking at this, in kind of understanding where the highway department is, and kind of understanding, what the situation is, it seems unrealistic to me, personally.
Mhm.
So, the grant has been approved, it's at our doorstep now, and a decision needs to be made as to whether we move forward with it or not. And to kind of give an update, the municipal paving project is a bit in limbo right now. As I understand it, as I've been told, the DOT is having some internal processes that have had being held up. Things have been taking much longer than what they have taken in the past. As well as the projects that have been assigned and started this year are a little behind. There are 4 projects, as I understand it, 4 different towns that are looking to get paved through this project. North Brookfield is the oldest by far. So we are literally next in line. And I would hate to think that some stalling in the beginning of this has kind of helped us put us here. But, I can't say that one way or sure, but it sure gives me a pretty strong opinion of CMRPC and how we should be working with them in the future and how careful we need to be. At this point, it's looking more realistic, like the paving isn't going to happen until next year. With us being first on the list, I would hope that we would be, at the beginning. But again, we can't have paving and the sidewalk being done, and the sidewalk that the only way it's going to get done is to use resources that we really don't have. So I think
No, you would,
that's.
Sure. Ralph, you connected on that?
No, I'm wondering if there's a way to, and if it makes sense to do this, put it off. In other words, say, can we wait 6 months or a year? Maybe we still can't do it. I'm just throwing that out there as a point of discussion.
Well, based on the amount we would have to pay out of highway's budget to do this, even in a year or two, we just don't have it.
So we reject the grant of whatever that comes to.
$1 million.
So then going back and applying in a couple of years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever, probably wouldn't be entertained either, right?
Depends on the situation, and that's why we looked into the, changing the grant
Right.
policy so we can make sure that we don't have the kind of red tape and
Right.
whatever
Gotcha.
else on here.
And I guess and to kind of better map this out,
I
right?
understand that.
This year, we've got sewer finishing up, hopefully highway, fire department finishing up, hopefully, the last of North Main on the sidewalks. Much beyond that, there really isn't. There's not a lot of resources.
I'll entertain a motion to reject.
Oh, can we ask questions about it before you do that? Is that okay, or do you guys just talk amongst yourselves? I don't want to get involved if that's how that works.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion to reject the strap grant. All right. Anything else? Before I ask the questions?
No, I think,
Ralph?
I think there's a lot of questions, but I'll let somebody else.
Sheila?
I was just gonna suggest that we have extended our grants for the last 3 to 4 years, and if there was a way for you guys to, instead of just rejecting it completely, that you could just extend it for the next 2 to 3 years, because we might have more funding in the next couple of years, and not, unless that's how the grant works. The grant
It's
says either take it or don't take
We'd have
it.
to pay 3/4 of the highway's budget to
Well-
do this, to make this grant function.
Right,
One
but,
year's budget, but if you took 3 or 4 years' budget, then it's only 20%, put it away, put it away, put it away, we get $1 million.
You can't just put it away.
well, I don't know, and I'm not saying
You
that,
gotta
but I'm
look
just
at the
saying I've seen
municipal
our
side.
grants get
Hold
extended.
on.
You
So,
can't just stockpile money away.
right,
Sorry.
Not only that, but we
Well-
don't have it to stockpile, we don't have it to put it away.
Right, well, that's the thing, but Sheila LeBlanc was making a point of how that works,
right,
and we had 3 other people talking. So if you could just let everybody know how that works, like we can't just put it away, it's gotta be,
When you encumber funds from a budget, it's for bills that occurred in a year, the fiscal year, and are gonna be paid in the next year because of the late billing or whatever.
Right.
You can't just stockpile salaries, $151,000 of salaries, 50 this year, 50 this year, into the salaries. You can't, that's not how municipal finance works.
right. And I understand that. That's,
You'd have to, put it somewhere else or rely on free cash. But as it is right now, you're transferring money out of stabilization to meet our budget, just our budget as it is.
right,
And, any free cash, to me, would be used to go back into stabilization to replace what we transferred.
right,
Because it's frowned upon with, the Department of Local Services. They don't want us funding our budget out of stabilization. That's the end of the line for us, stabilization. If we have some catastrophic event, that's where we gotta go, and we're just over $1 million in that.
right, yeah,
But, to stockpile it away really can't be done in municipal finance. And going with a $1 million grant versus the 4 or 5, I don't know. I haven't seen anything, I didn't really look at the paperwork. I don't know if they'd extend it. I don't even know what the beginning date, the start date is, or the completion date.
well, I
can
would
tell
agree
you-
with that too. If we don't know what the start date, the end date, or the completion date is, but we're rejecting something before we even know all the facts about it, why are we
Well, but-
rejecting it?
But where are you gonna get that 169,000, Sheila?
Right.
I don't know yet, but it seems silly to say no to $1 million right away when we can just say nothing for a little while and wait, and just have a letter sitting there saying
no,
we
there's-
might have that
there-
money.
we have
Do you have a date you have to accept or
Yes.
reject it by?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
because it'll move, the money moves on to the next candidate.
Yeah, yeah. And that's understandable.
And I guess,
didn't
and
understand
I'm
that
gonna
part.
jump in a little bit on the stabilization funding, because it's,
Don't touch it.
don't touch it, but the reality is that our financing, our loan servicing is affected by how much is in stabilization.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
And right now, we are barely,
Yeah,
and that's important to us because we've got sewer, we've got highway fire. We've got these loans that we are all loaned up now.
Right.
And that, keeping that servicing cost down is the only thing that we can do, right, to minimize the pain at this point.
yeah,
And we have not gone out for the permanent borrow on the fire highway.
right,
And if we drop below $1 million, then that's gonna up our rates.
Right.
And then that's passed on to the taxpayer,
Yep.
again, on top of all the other.
Thank you for that explanation.
yes. I think my only concern was if there wasn't a completion date or a start date or any of that kind of stuff, like why are we saying no right away?
Yeah.
But if you guys already know all that stuff, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, we're on a timeline.
Yep.
We only have so much time to approve it or
Right.
let it go.
Yep.
Is there another way that we can improve our sidewalks and safety other than the strap grant? Are there grants out there?
There are, Safe Routes to School, so there's other grants you can look into that may have a lower match or no match at all, so there are other grants that can go towards sidewalks. It'd be a great thing for a TA to look into if we
No.
get one.
And I would hope that we could probably do manageable bite sizes.
With the use of, excuse me, with the use of Chapter 90 funding, we could probably size down sections of what is needed. That's if we do it in a group effort, so that we know, what we want to do now, what can wait, what can come in line next. We can phase it out with the use of Chapter 90 funding with limitation, because we also have major paving that will still be underway. Once municipal paving, once they come in and they go out, and I'll be putting in for the second portion of that 67, which will take it to the West Brookfield end of it. That will take care of that main artery in town. Then the second main artery would be meeting the municipal paving at Spring Street all the way down to the East Brookfield line, which is on us. That will not won't qualify for the municipal paving.
Right.
That will be on us, and that's another $1 million road. But Randy and I had already talked about doing a section of that from Spring Street down, where you have your main traffic flow. That will satisfy that for as far as our money will take us, at least to Ward Street. And then then our allotment will kick in next July 1st for fiscal '27, and we just see where we're at that time.
But
So those are our plans for
for
work.
every dollar we spend and matching a grant,
A grant is, yup,
right? But every dollar we spend is a dollar less for paving a road.
right,
We're only getting so much
Right.
money for Chapter 90, so
Yeah.
we look at spending that money
Yeah.
and say, okay, look, we've got X amount,
mm-hmm,
we want to use, we'd like to use some here, we want to use some here. That's less roads that actually get paved.
okay, I see what you're saying,
And,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and based on my understanding, the sins of our past, somewhat have caught up with us in what we've done with some of that Chapter 90 money in the back, because you can't make it up. Once you've used it for something other than the road, we've got nothing to make up for it. So, it just, clearly, if you listen to folks who live in town, paving is a pretty, a pretty strong topic, and people have strong opinions, and I just, and when we talk about Chapter 90 and what we're using it for, I just, what we're gonna commit to, we just need to be careful.
Well, I'm just saying that is a main artery, as well as 67, and not to mention Hillsville Road. Those are the main arteries that I'd like to focus on in the next 2 or 3 years. And realistically, I can see that we can get, continuing from Spring Street towards East Brookfield Road, we can get that done with our Chapter 90 money.
So the motion on the floor, does anybody else have any more comments on the strap grant specifically?
I think that we need to investigate finding that. I really think that everybody agrees that paving is a big thing, real important. Everybody agrees that the sidewalk upgrades and everything that's spelled out in the strap grant is really important. I think we all agree that that match is impossible, but I think we need to investigate something else that doesn't have that match burden. I'll call it a burden.
All right. Anybody
How
else?
we investigate it, I don't know that.
Anybody else? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Tara, for your work.
All right, so we met with the various inspectors that we have for permitting, particularly the building inspector, plumbing inspector, and electrical inspector, because it's been argued that we need some software to streamline the permitting. And the general consensus of the inspectors was that it would cost us hiring somebody to manage the software, because it would be so particular in its use and tying everything together. So we'd end up hiring a full-time employee to manage the software, and we really don't have the money for that at this time. Plus, there's two different types of software we can get. One was cheaper, considerably cheaper than the other. And then we're not really sure whether or not it's actually better, just because it's cheaper. Do you have any comments on that?
It was like a lot cheaper. I think that the people agree that it's coming down the road. We have some type of automated system for permitting that would help streamline the process. But without having somebody as a, I don't know, I can't think of another word other than a gatekeeper of the permitting process, which means hire somebody. I think the better of the systems that we heard about was it like $90,000 or something like that? The other one was $7,500, something like that. Those are the numbers I remember. Maybe I remembered it wrong, but that's what I remember. 19? Or maybe I misheard that. Thank you.
That's still considerably more than
Still.
7,500.
Thank you.
Okay. Jamie? You got anything on that? No, all right. Wow. Thank God she says, all right. So, I also think that looking into the various aspects of it, that once we get a town administrator, I think it would be better to wait for that as well. I'll entertain a motion to agree that the feasibility, sustainability, and necessity for the town are not essential at this time for the permitting software.
So moved.
All right, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I had a question about something.
Go ahead.
So the price that you're talking about, the 19,700, is that initial price?
That's initial price.
Okay, and then did they tell you how much the annual maintenance would be?
One of them was 6 was right, because that's not right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But the other thing too is they call them modules for each application, so the plumbing would be one, and building and zoning, and then you'd have other things You know, because essentially you could use this software for probably just about any billing that the town has, but you'd need a different module for that, and you'd have to pay for that, and you'd have to upkeep it, and it would be more and more. And I don't think it's something that we're gonna not do long-term, but at the moment, I don't think we have the manpower or the money to do it.
I just wanted to kind of point out that, you know, as you're looking at this in the long term, you want to just make sure that you bake in whatever it is that they're going to charge you for annual maintenance of the software.
Yeah, and the software started off cheaper, but then there was, in it was,
That's
okay,
what
we're
they
gonna
get
go up X percentage each year.
Yeah.
That's where they get you.
Yeah, but honestly, the biggest part, and I guess I said I wasn't gonna talk about it, is if you go to the building department in Worcester, they use OpenGov. And the other one of the softwares was OpenGov, and the other one was kind of a smaller version of it.
Yeah, OpenGov would be the more expensive.
Right. So, you know, if you go into the building department in Worcester, and OpenGov works great. You can do all kinds of stuff online, you can communicate, but if you go in the building department, it's just desks and desks and desks and desks and desks. The infrastructure is just huge to be able to administer it, you know, and we just don't, I think we got 3 inspectors.
No, I totally understand. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Oh, I have a question. What was the source of funding for this?
We didn't get that far. It never came up, and it was never brought to us what it was. I think the plan was possibly a grant to start with, but then after that, it's hard to say where it would come from, depending on grant availability, and then you got the modules involved, and then hiring somebody as well. So the grant only would have paid for the initial software. And I don't think it would have covered all for OpenGov either. Just the cheaper of the two. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, so you have no clue. Okay.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
Thank you, Sheila.
All right, so at some point, we have to change the town website. Very soon. We have 2 options, Catalyst and Civic Plus. At this time, the Board of Selectmen is leaning towards Civic Plus. But Joe Trentacosta on the Finance Committee has been taking calls, and he's actually been looking into the financial feasibility and migration of data. And he has more to come. So I guess I'll entertain a motion to bring this up in 2 weeks.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Ralph, survey results.
Okay, we've been talking about surveys for a while now. And the survey we did was effective in that we got the information we were looking for. Approximately 10% of the surveys were returned. Some interesting information. More than 50%, maybe 55% of the people who responded sincerely want us to add Fridays and longer days, which is what we anticipated that anyway. There were a lot of suggestions for activities.
What is the survey regarding? I'm sorry?
Senior Center.
Okay.
We're at a crossroads. Either we keep the Senior Center open or we don't. And the Senior Center needs to be more effective than what it is. There are just a handful of people who take advantage of the Senior Center. And one of the problems that was highlighted in the survey, so in other words, in order to try the seniors in this town, or our customers, there are approximately about a third of our population. So we sent out surveys saying, well, what would you like to see?
Mhm.
And let's see if we can meet what you'd like.
Okay.
So one of the responses was more hours, another day and more hours. Right now, they're open 9 to 2, Monday through Thursday.
Mhm.
So, and then we asked, what would you like to see us do at the senior center? What kind of services would you like? One of the things that was highlighted was that they don't communicate well enough what they do.
Mhm.
There are classes, there's exercise classes, there's walking groups, there's this and that, but there isn't enough. We know that. We need to expand that, so what do you want? We
Mhm.
want to do what you want us to do, so. But one of the good things that came along, and I think we can help, this will help us a lot, is that 43 people expressed a willingness to volunteer at the senior center and gave us their contact information. So
That's
what does that mean?
amazing.
That means we can get people there to help run these programs that everybody wants. They can bring what they like to do, what their hobbies are, and share them. So maybe we can get somebody to plan bus trips. There were a lot of people who responded that they'd like to see bus trips. That was really popular in the area before COVID. So I think that, that's a good one. There's lots. There's classes. There was one on, a lot of people wanted training on using the computer more and get safety involved with that. So you're avoiding scams and all that. I think that's a big deal. So I'll be meeting with the COA, in a couple of weeks, and see which of these are the easiest to tackle. I've passed on to the COA the contact information for all the volunteers. So let's find out. You said you wanted to volunteer, you gave us your information, what can you do, and how can we incorporate that? And then we've got to find out how we can extend the hours. I don't know how we're going to do that yet. We can use the volunteers, but I think somebody from the COA has to be there, not just the volunteer. So we've got to look at how to work that out, but we definitely want to do this. I think we're trying hard to make this into a positive situation for the town.
I don't suppose they'd be interested in a hardwood flooring installation course.
Sure. Knee pads provided.
Well, Ryan will do it. Ryan will do it.
So,
Stop. All right. Thank you for doing that, Ralph. Did you have any more?
questions, anybody?
Did they happen to mention in the survey what means of communication they thought would be best to understand when things were
No, I
happening?
think, well, they do a newsletter.
Yeah.
Apparently not everybody gets it, or not everybody reads it. It's put out in certain places in town.
Yeah.
I think what we are going to be publicizing more in the newspapers, the Quabog Current and the New Leader, with a monthly calendar of events, and do a report before an event so people can plan on it. We've had some really good things in the past several months, but people didn't know.
Right.
And then follow up with some story after.
That's excellent.
So I think we're going to try to turn things around, try to turn around the reputation. Perception is reality, and right now the perception is poor.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're having a conversation with East Brookfield, is that getting anywhere?
It's in, Donna Farmer is kind of controlling that. They're talking with her and she's talking with me. We're talking about regionalizing the two, and I think we're looking at more like January, February, hopefully. And if we can get enough, get it worked out, we might even be able to work out a van to be able to bring people in. So we're working towards that.
Do anything? Anything else? Ralph, you anything else?
On that,
All right. Trunk or treat update, Nancy.
Trunk or treat update, much easier subject, I think, than some of the other previous ones. So, trunk or treat, we are on target for having our trunk or treat on Halloween, which is October 31st. The event will go from 5:30 to 7:30. It will be located at the Commons, so we'll have trunks and we'll have a DJ and lots of fun. We'll have some prizes for costumes and best trunks, and even we're thinking maybe a best pet costume award. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. My understanding is it's very well attended. So at this point right now, we are looking for candy. If folks want to reach out to parks or drop candy off at the senior center, I talked to Courtney and she said she'd be happy to accept the candy so that bags can be made up and delivered to folks who need candy, because there's a lot of kids that sort of circulate in that Grove Street, the South and North Common, and then the Forest Street area, and also the trunks. People don't realize that we have 500 plus people that come in to our trunk or treat. So, like I said, very well attended. People run out of candy real quick, so we're just trying to make sure that folks have enough candy, and it's a fun event for everybody, for everyone. The senior center will also be open during the 5:30 to 7:30 time frame. They'll have cookies, and if it's chilly, you can come in and get warm. We're looking to have seniors come to the senior center so that they can see kids dressed up. So we're hoping that families will go to the senior center to give the seniors an opportunity to enjoy seeing the kids all dressed up and things like that. If you're interested in having a trunk, you can either reach out to Parks or, just kind of let us know. We're going to start at about 4 o'clock on that day to have cars come in and start to decorate your trunk so that at 5:30 everybody will be in place, and the event will start at that time.
Excellent. Thank you very much. You guys got anything? Any questions?
No. I do have one request of the select board before I'm done. So we do hand out hot dogs, the Halloweenies. And we would absolutely love if y'all showed up and kind of hand out hot dogs and be part of the fun. And come on,
Perhaps they could dress up.
Yeah.
We could all dress like Jason.
It'll be
Or
acorns.
you can be the three stooges, all three kinds
You're
of
funny.
acorns.
you guys could have a lot of fun with this. So I'm hoping that, you will accept my invitation with gladness and hand out stuff.
To be determined.
Oh, I think they should do it.
Second that.
All in favor?
See what happens.
I'm not missing trick or treat with my granddaughter.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Trunk or treat.
You can go right to the,
Just carry it, you can deliver hot dogs.
All right.
there's a lot of fun on the common that day. Actually, pretty awesome time.
Well, I'll be there one way or another.
One way or another.
All
Even
right.
for a few minutes, just to hand out some hot dogs would be
Thank you, Nancy.
very much appreciated.
Thank you, Brandon. Well, we can bring it up under new business. So, new business. We got some resignations to accept. We had Charlie Haddock gave us a verbal resignation, and Donald Smith and Kevin Valeri both gave us written resignations from the Sewer Commission, and the Sewer Commission's appointed. Anyway, I will entertain a motion to accept those 3 resignations at this time.
So moved.
All All right, motion's been made and seconded, any discussion?
Thank you for your years. Thank you.
Yep, they've been on a long time, Charlie Haddock's been on longer than all of them, and thank you very much for serving. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So since the sewer commissioners are appointed and it happened all at once, we, the Board of Selectmen have to assume the responsibilities of the sewer commission, and we actually had our first meeting at 4:30 this afternoon, and we'll be doing that until we can figure out what we're gonna do about appointing more people going forward. And they meet once a month, so. All right, and then we have, let's see if it's
What are you doing?
I'm looking for Mark's.
We don't read it on the personnel file.
Okay. All right, so Chief Mark Smith has tendered a resignation. He's been with us 10 years. He has a great opportunity in another community. We wish him well in his future endeavors. His last day will be November 21st. I'll entertain a motion to accept Chief Mark Smith's resignation.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Well, good luck.
Yep, absolutely.
Do best.
Thank you for serving, and good luck in your future endeavors. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, at some point, we have to decide on how we're gonna post the position, whether internally or externally.
So we start internally now.
That's usually us.
We start internally and go outside. I don't know.
Yep. Personally, I'd like to start internally. So, discussion?
It's pointing at you.
I know, but I talk all the time.
We know.
I think,
Go ahead, Ralph.
is there a policy that says we look internally first? Is there a policy like that, or is it just?
I don't think the policy says.
Okay.
I do think we have some good potential candidates within our department, and I don't think it's unheard of to go that route.
Good. Agree. Only qualified candidates.
Well, I do think that the chief of police is a pretty important position. And, you know, I would certainly be open to hear from folks personally as to what their opinions are. Personal opinion, I'm a very strong proponent of posting internally and looking internally for promotion. I think that's how a good organization works. But again, it is, you know, it's an important position in town. I like the idea of getting feedback from residents. You know, I've seen the search committee thing work not all that well, in my opinion. As of late, you know, I've seen some duds come through, for lack of better wording, that way. And, you know, I know as a citizen, I have some pretty strong opinions as to what I've seen in the police department in the past, and certainly what I'd like to see in the future, and I'd hope that people in town feel the same way. You know, and I like the idea of getting some public input, and certainly we've already had some. You know, folks email in support of a particular avenue in that, and you know, I'd like to feel that when the decision is made, we make the decision together, so that forever, whoever is in that position is supported. We get there in a way that makes everybody feel comfortable.
All right, and how long would you wanna, how would you wanna go about getting the public feedback?
Well, certainly,
I think they should just email you.
I don't have, I'll be honest with you, I mean, I've spent time talking to people, I mean, I've been talking to people right along, and what's important to me, and what has been made really important to me, has been that a strong performer in this role, in a lot of cases, is, you never see it, we never see it. We never see, when something bad happens, because that's really what we're talking about here. And of course, there's the operations, there's the budget, but when something bad happens, you'd like to think that you have the right person in the spot. And, I've certainly taken some of my time to go around and talk to folks who are in those situations often. And, getting a feel to, as to, what their opinion on it is, and whether, they feel, there's strong candidates in town, and so, sure, reach out. If we don't have a meeting next Tuesday, I will probably hold hours in the Selectmen's office next week. If you're not comfortable emailing, if you're not comfortable, if the committee, doesn't, want to do it a different way, I'd certainly like to make myself available and talk to folks. Let's talk about where we want to be. I have a personal opinion again, but I don't. This is a big decision. And again, I've had some personal experiences in town that have given me some strong opinions on how things should be. But again, I don't think it should be, at the end of the day, I don't think we should be making a unilateral decision.
So, if you're gonna be in the office next Tuesday, if we're not gonna have a meeting, so we can announce how we're gonna post the following Tuesday. So that'd be the 14th, the 21st of October.
Which gives us a month. Which gives us a month
Yep.
to fill the position, however we decide.
Yep.
Okay, so the 21st roll.
And I would hope that people would make an effort. Oh,
Make sure you get a sign-in sheet. I want to see it when you're done.
yeah, I don't have any illusions that, people are gonna be pounding down the door, but,
Nope, nope.
From a morale standpoint, it makes sense to look internally first, I think. And if somebody is not chosen from internally, that I hope that we would take the time to explain to that person what they need to do to prepare themselves in case there's another time. That goes a long way.
All right. So I guess that's what we'll do. All right. Appoint an assessor. So we have two assessors that are elected, and there's supposed to be three. And the Board of Selectmen appoints anybody to positions that are elected if there's a vacancy, except the only one that we don't appoint is the Board of Selectmen. So we have Brandon Avery, who's shown interest in being on the Board of Assessors. So I will entertain a motion to appoint Brandon Avery to the Board of Assessors.
So moved. Second?
All right, discussion. Hold on, Ralph?
Living here.
What?
Brandon's right there.
His name is on there, but there's nothing else on there. Keep going.
I can lead you right to
Oh, and your
water. I
resume.
can't make you drink.
Oh, there we go. That helps. Now I have any questions.
Well, obviously, I know Brendan pretty well. And based on work with the Parks and Rec, his ability to use the Registry of Deeds is pretty damn impressive. I mean, I thought I'm a pretty, internet savvy guy, but I can't hold a candle to him. I mean, this guy has found anything I can pretty damn quick, so I can't imagine there's anybody long that's gonna step up that's more qualified for the job.
All right. So, motion's been made and seconded. Any, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Welcome aboard. You can go get sworn in.
I have everything dated for tomorrow.
Trying to get him out of here before the comment period.
I knew you would stay, so I dated it for tomorrow.
So one of the things I'd like to do, because it is hard to find people, and I mentioned this 2 weeks ago, is I'd like to try to change, if we can agree on it, the way we do the Board of Assessors, to one appointed assessor, full-time in the office, and an elected board of 3 that go out just to do the revals. That'll add an extra check and balance to the whole situation. Other towns do it that way, and it would also save us two pays. So, any comments?
I like the idea.
No? Hmm? Sheila?
Who would be responsible for appointing the assessor? The Board of Assessors? That full-time position?
I don't know. It's up for discussion.
Well, that would be something you'd have to have
Yeah.
written
Because
out.
what's going to happen is it's going to have to be a town meeting vote, and so it's going to have to be a special article on the town meeting. And if it's going to happen, it kind of has to happen before May, because we have someone that's not running again, and we have someone who's said she's going to retire at the same time, so we're going to be down to one assessor, and we need to have it functioning properly by then. So, would you like to be on a committee to draft that?
Absolutely not.
Thank you for the question, though.
Just put it in your mind.
Anybody else? Brandon? You haven't been sworn in yet, so
Yeah, I haven't been sworn in yet, so I'm still have time
you're in
to
limbo.
rethink this, because, just so you know, I'm not interested in full-time. So,
It's only,
part-time, that's kind of one of the reasons
Yeah.
I'm interested in the position,
you okay?
just so you know. So if you're gonna go to a full-time position,
It's not you.
it's not gonna be me. No.
All right,
That's what you're saying.
anybody else? All right, moving on. Okay, let's see. Pete, got some change orders for us.
Yes, I do.
Would you care to explain them?
Sure. All right, so the building highway project, you guys should have all the change orders in front of you. I'll go in order. starting with change order 41.
We don't have them, he just got them off. We can share them. The one you have is the one he gave me before this morning. So those are the ones you'll need to sign.
All right, but they're all listed on here, right? This
No,
was-
he has two separate ones, so the
Alright.
one he has given me before this meeting is a separate change order, and then you have what is done before a change order as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
PCO.
Yeah, but the
PC.
change,
These are all
the
PCO.
change orders are listed as PCOs on this paper.
They're separate. This is gonna be a new thing he's gonna present.
Okay, okay, all right,
That's the official. That's for the last previous.
okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Pete.
All right, so these are proposed change orders.
Okay,
So proposed change order 41 is for the reduction of countertops at the headquarters and one of the rooms. It is a credit of $3,808.12. Proposed change order number 42 is removal of unforeseen ledge for the interceptor piping. There was a additional ledge that had to be removed inside the building to get the interceptor piping down far enough to go out the building, for a total of $4,979.02. Do you want to discuss any of these at the end, or do you want to go through each item?
what do you guys think? Want to discuss each one, or you want to wait till the end?
Go, I guess.
All right, back to 41, the removal of countertops. In one of the offices, it was countertops around the room.
Okay.
We removed some of the countertops so you could put filing cabinets floor to ceiling in. So that's why we got the credit of $3,808.12.
Mhm.
Back to 42 for the unforeseen ledge. They were digging, they hit ledge, they had to remove the ledge to get the pipe down deep enough to go out the building. Proposed change order number 43, deck allowance credit. So during the project, they had an allowance set aside in case when they did do the roof repair, the roof work, they had to repair any plywood, they had to change any rafters, they had to do anything. So that was $12,000. So they have finished all the roof work, so we get the credit of $12,000 back. Pretty straightforward, didn't have to fix anything, we get the money back.
I like it.
Me too. Proposed change order number 44 is another credit. So this is the credit from the plumber for $1,522.50 for not having the core of the holes from inside of the building to the exterior, due to the fact that it was all ledge and granite. So he wouldn't have been able to core it, so he gave us some money back that he would have spent coring the holes. Change order, proposed change order number 45 is the underpinning required at the foundation. So because it was all ledge and granite, they had to actually like jackhammer out, bring the pipes out, and then fix it all.
Mhm.
So that is the underpinning and pouring new cement. $2,524.76. And these are the newer ones that we voted on Monday, starting with change order, proposed change order number 46. In the building, in the fire headquarters, there was a space that was technically a crawl space underneath the building. There was some existing piping in there. That piping has all been moved into the mechanical room. They were gonna originally put wooden beams with plywood on top and leave the space underneath. And it makes more sense to not do any of that. Fill it in with sand and gravel and cement over the top of it. It makes a better floor. We don't need the pit anymore. There's nothing to attach the beams to because the structure down in the ground is a 200-year-old brick. And instead of having to pay for them to build a new half wall to put the beams on top of. Just easy to fill it in with sand and cement it all. So it'll be one smooth cement floor. The total on that is $4,736.63. It helps us, I guess, because you don't have a pit on the floor, and it's all the same surface. Everything is good to go. You don't need that pit anymore.
And that, I believe that addressed the building inspector's concerns with not being able to shore up that wooden
It was,
floor.
yes,
Nothing.
it was nothing to hang to. There's nothing to actually attach the joist to. Proposed change order number 47, the bell tower pit. So it's the big tower in the center of the fire headquarters where we used to hang hoses and there was a bell and stuff in there. There's no floor in there, so they gotta clean it all out, dig it down, fill it in, put a floor on it. It's eventually gonna be a closet, but it's a large closet. $1,738.04. That's for the demo, the prep work, pouring the cement. Change order number 48, called the wall tie details. This is for structural, so one of the big things in the building is they have to make it structurally sound. They're tying the roof into the walls. They had to go about it a little different way because once they cut the ceilings open, they realized they couldn't install the wall ties the way they wanted to, the way the engineer had spec'd out. They had a discussion. They said, hey, we can use this means instead of that means. This is for the second floor and the first floor for a change order of $2,734.87. The works meets the requirements of the engineer and all the structural needs. Proposed change order number 49, closet door rework. There's a closet that was going to be accessible from the front as you walk in. It was a pre-existing bathroom with a door on it already. They were just going to switch the door to the other side. Tight door, be a smaller door, wouldn't really be accessible. We could just use the existing doorway. The change order is $782.06. That's just to put a new frame and condition the area to make it new and feasible. All right, proposed change order number 50, the C-channel modifications. This is to take out an existing beam that is sagging and replace it with a new LVL, with a type of beam. Fix up the masonry, and this is in the back right corner of the building. If you look at it, you can see the sag in it. It's $5,454.56. Proposed change order 51 is for 2 doors that were pre-existing. This is to add a lintel above the door. Anywhere there's a door, you have a header over the door. It carries the weight of the building. These pre-existing doors did not have anything carrying the building above them. They were just cut into the block and the door was put in. So you have to put support over the doors. This is for 2, $3,925.46. Proposed change order number 52. The firehouse is 2 floors, except for the furthest bay to the right is 1 floor. There is no insulation in that ceiling. It's a flat roof for most of that. There was concerns about snow load, about not having insulation, about heating outside. So this will put an R19 on the deck and between the joists, covered with poly in that area front to back. with venting out the side. This will keep the heat in the building, eliminate concerns about snow load. The venting will keep any concerns about moisture building up inside of those spaces. So it was a pretty good discussion between the builder, the committee, and the engineers to try to get the best R value while still maintaining a clean space without worrying about, like I said, snow load, ice backup, and stuff like that. This is $10,466.73. That covers front to back with insulation. Otherwise, that area wouldn't be insulated, and you're just paying the heat outside. Change order, proposed change order 53, remove the pitched slab in the apparatus bay and replace with new. There was some, in the front of the building where the fire trucks were originally located, the floors are pitched to drains. So the floor kind of comes up and goes down, goes up and goes down. We don't need that anymore because it'll be offices, but the floor is not level. In one area, it went up 3 inches higher than the rest of the floor. And they'd done some work in that area already to add columns in for support. So they had already made some cuts in the floor and poured new cement in. The area in between was still 3 inches higher. So there was a 9 by 12 area in between those two cutouts that was 3 inches higher than the rest of the floor. So we decided that if we cut that area out, made it the same height as the other new work, we wouldn't have to float the whole floor 3 inches. Now there are some other areas that are an inch high, but this is definitely the highest area, and to have to match that 3 inches across the whole floor, it probably wouldn't work, and two, be very expensive. So by lowering this area, making that a new cement pad, we don't have to float the whole thing 3 inches. Plus, when you get to the back of the building,
Screw up all your doors.
and you're still 3 inches
and
high,
And your elevations.
and it'll screw up everything, and then you're gonna have a 3-inch step in the middle of the building. Or you're gonna have to then float that all down to match the rest of the building. So that only made sense to do. That is $3,999.
And that's for cutting out this
In-
hump.
Yes, in between, that's cutting out the cement and repouring it so it's all one flat level.
And repouring.
Yes, yep. Alright, proposed change order 54, floor drain, existing mechanical room, and a sanitary connection. So this PCO is for actually 2 items. Where the original drain line, everybody thought it was on one side of the building. It is not. That was a pre-existing pipe. No one knows what it's for. It looks like sanitary pipe. We all looked at it and said, oh yeah, that's sanitary pipe. It's not. The plumber came in, scoped it, and found out where the actual drain is, which runs out the back of the building. I mean, we are dealing with a building that at one time housed horses, so no one has the old plans of the sanitary or the water lines coming in. I did have Eric from the sewer and Jamie from the water come down, look at the area. So this is going to connect the new sink. There has to be some floor cutting to actually get to where the sewer is in the ground. We thought it ran this way, but it actually runs this way. It runs out the back of the building. So this is going to be a cut on the floor, so they connect the sink underground to it, re-pour that floor. And this also adds a floor drain in the mechanical room, which you need to have in the mechanical room due to that fact that it's a mechanical room, it needs to have a floor drain. So this is the plumbing and the cement work for a total of $6,918.14. And that is all the change orders for this week.
Thank you.
No problem.
I'm
Any
sure that's all.
So far? No, it's going good.
With the credits on these
Mm-hmm.
and the other change orders, what's the contingency gonna be at after that? Do you know?
I have a rough idea. Do you wanna know?
I asked the question.
So so the project, the OPM wasn't available yesterday, but we think it's around 80.
Around 80?
Yeah,
All right.
that's after all this is said and done.
Do you have a total on this? Oops.
He said around 80.
This is like 42, right around there.
No. I
Oh,
wanted
the change
total.
order?
Yeah, it's about 42,000. And that should leave us around 80.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the change orders as described by Mr. Orsi.
Second?
Further discussion?
I just comment that a lot of this stuff that's coming up, and it's coming up as change orders because it was sight unseen.
Yeah.
They've kind of done most of the demo, pretty much all the demo of the building.
Yes, sir. Yep.
And you'd like to think that this would be the end of the hidden surprises. When was the building built?
76, 1876?
1876. So,
You would know.
Just little, I barely remember it. I think I helped carry some of the bricks.
You probably did. Anything else?
no, just hope that's the end.
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. You brought up something for new business.
Yeah, I mean, seeing as you're here.
Hi.
Hi. The sidewalk and the rest of the work for North Main Street. Obviously, Bill Palais gave an estimate of what he thought everything should cost. Bill's estimates came in lower than reality. Had some decision making to make as to what was important, what wasn't.
Yep.
And we, obviously talked, but at the end of the day, the sidewalk, the signs, the paving for the curb of the new sidewalk in front of the church, as well as the change order for the stamped concrete.
Okay. Is off the block?
No,
Oh,
that's what's on the block. That's
Yeah.
all we got money for.
got approved.
Got
Right.
it. Bill Palais finally got the change order over to J&L.
Yep, I saw that.
So J&L has everything they need other than the red line drawing, which Bill volunteered to do the drawings, he hasn't done the drawings, and I'm at a point where I'm just gonna do a red pen and just modify the drawing.
That sounds amazing.
Okay. So J&L should be pretty much good to go.
I'm coming in any day to finish that.
Yep. My only concern with this is that the parking that's in front of the church,
Yep.
I'm of the opinion probably should go.
All of the parking on that side of the street?
Yep.
I know that there was still room to be able to put some parking on that side of the street when we originally
Yep.
worked out the engineering. And I personally wouldn't like to see all of it gone, if we could get a couple more spots down
so-
towards the main street.
One of the biggest problems with that
Yeah,
is the types of vehicles that we have that park in the diagonal parking. And you get a pickup truck
wait, where are you talking about? I'm talking
across the street.
in front of the library and the Adams block?
The Adams
Yeah.
block in particular.
The whole Adams block, you're gonna take out all the
No,
parking
no,
over
no, no.
there?
So
Yeah, I'm
So
confused.
there's angled parking in front of the Adams block.
Yes,
There's parallel parking in front of the Union Star in the library.
okay, yes,
There's parallel parking on the other side of the road,
true,
okay? So there's always been concern about this.
100%.
And my understanding was that the select board in some way, shape or fashion approached the church and wanted to move the wall back.
A long time ago, we
Okay.
did, there was a discussion
Okay.
from both the
There-
BBC and the
there-
BOS, yes,
Okay, so there was no desire from the church to move that wall back,
true,
okay? So we are stuck with what we have, okay?
okay, yes,
So, I'm building up.
All right.
I'm building up.
go for it,
So right now, we've got a North Main Street that has no sidewalk on the church side.
yes,
Has an illegal crosswalk,
yes,
okay? And if you want to walk down the School Street side of North Main, on the
Yes.
sidewalk, say you're pushing a baby stroller, okay?
You can.
You can. So you come down to the four corners, you have to cross once, twice, 3 times.
A lady, yes,
To make your way
True.
on that side of North Main
Right.
Street, okay? As well as the fact that there is a crosswalk that goes to nowhere,
Nowhere.
a hole in the wall.
yes,
And if you park on that side,
right,
okay, you park and you're in the street,
agree,
okay? So you've got, the sidewalk's gonna move out 4 feet,
okay,
okay? The parallel parking in front of
the church
the
wall,
library
oh,
and the Union Star,
yes,
okay, isn't a problem, that's wide enough.
yes,
The angled parking,
mm-hmm,
if you have, say, a truck with
Yeah.
an 8-foot bed,
Yeah, I can't cab.
okay, which I've been going there multiple times a day and kind of looking at it, okay,
yeah,
that is tight.
Mhm.
That's damn tight.
currently,
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, but certainly when you squeeze that down 4 feet,
right,
right? You take 4 feet out of the road, it is too tight,
right,
okay? So, so I had a couple concerns, okay? Taking away parking, what is the parking for? If you drive down down Main Street
yep,
early in the morning,
right,
before any of those businesses are open,
yep,
you have at least a half a dozen cars parked there.
okay. Well, and kids get dropped off over there and stuff too, for school buses and all, yes,
But those cars are empty,
right,
first thing in the morning,
okay,
okay? So the businesses aren't open,
right,
okay? So there are folks that are
somebody's
parked.
already parking out there,
What's that?
someone's already parking out there,
Yeah, well, there's only really one place those people could be, and it's really the tenants on the
Okay.
second floor, okay?
Yeah.
And, there's zoned,
Yeah.
right? There's parking in the back
yep,
that really, okay, so, there's a concern if you eliminate parking, do you need,
where do they park?
right, okay? So the cars that are parked there in the morning, tenants have parking in the back.
Yep,
Right? So, I'm kind of at a point now, here where, keeping the parking on the church side with the 4-foot sidewalk closes that main street up pretty darn tight.
down the end where the
The
church,
angled parking in front of the Adams block.
interesting.
If you've got cars parked there, you've got cars parked on the church side.
Yeah,
Now you move those cars 4 feet out,
right,
It's a one-way street.
it's pretty close to it.
they did talk, I know when they originally talked about the engineering, they talked about moving the line of the middle of the street, and it was supposed to be able to give enough distance for everybody to go. So I guess my question is all of the parking coming out on the side of the street that is on the church side?
I'm just talking here.
Okay,
But, I am of the opinion is that the sidewalk needs to go. The sidewalk needs to be put in. We
Agreed.
need a sidewalk on that side.
yes,
Okay? And, I've had officers express their opinion that it was gonna be too tight.
yep,
And, was there an alternative to this? Yes, there was. And the
Yeah.
alternative was to move that stone wall back and open things up. But the town can't be hamstrung by that.
right,
Okay, we have to move forward in whatever way we can.
yep,
So, to me, you make a decision, parking, sidewalks, gotta make it right, gotta make it DOT compliant. And by the way, part of that municipal paving project, part of that was a review of DOT compliance.
right,
And that sidewalk
Yep.
and that crosswalk was part of that.
right,
So, there's more at stake here than just some parking spots.
right, right,
So at this point, moving forward, I want to start the conversation as to,
I would say we've been talking about parking in the downtown area for a long time.
Yep.
And so things do need to change down there that make things a lot safer for people. our downtown is supposed to be a very walkable area, according to not only our master plan, but also the downtown prioritization plan that's on the BOS website. So whatever we need to do to make it more walkable, I think is gonna be better for the town, number one. And then number two, parking is something that we've been working on, DDC, and then trying to work with some of the other companies in town to be able to renegotiate some areas of parking. So I think that whatever we need to do to be renegotiating parking and make things safer and more convenient for people to get into the downtown, that's a safe way to be down there, is the right thing to do.
I also think something maybe not so related is that a lot of the vibrant parking along School Street has been moved out.
Okay,
Those spots are somewhat empty in the morning.
yeah,
So, you know, I do think that there'll be available space, there'll be additional available space there that's not being used now.
yeah,
And now that you have a sidewalk on that side,
right,
be able to park there, cross
Agree.
School Street.
yes,
Now you've got a sidewalk to get to where you need to go.
right.
So,
And on the opposite side of the street here of School Street, not just the Vibrant side, but the Congo Church side here, people don't utilize that as much as that should be used. There
There's
should be
parallel
more
parking.
parking
True.
spots
Yep. So-
listed over that
right, so
side too,
I think it's
which
one
would
of
make up for those.
I think it's one of those things where, you know, if you're determined to be unhappy
Right,
about it, then you're gonna find something to be unhappy about.
Right.
But if you kind of take a couple steps back and say, okay, look, need a sidewalk there,
right,
you know, the parking, let's look at it and be, I think,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds amazing. Let's make it happen.
Kim?
So I go through that intersection a lot
Sure.
with my truck and trailer.
Yeah,
And I hold traffic up every friggin' time because
Yeah.
I can't make the swing.
This is a kid's show.
right,
Oh, sorry. Stinking. Because there's a lot of trucks that park there. If there's a truck parked there, or
Right.
some people don't pull all the way up to the curb
right,
when they pull in. I can't make that swing.
right,
So I end up having to go into the other lane
right.
to go around with my horse trailer.
To be fair, all of these streets that are in here are from when we had our horse and buggies down there. And
Yeah,
Brandon has
exactly.
amazing pictures of our town from there, and they've never been actually re-engineered to
Right.
be
So it
done
scares me
correctly.
to think that you're gonna put 4 feet of sidewalk and cars.
I just want it to be nice.
I love the
I
sidewalk,
would
but
just
I'm
like to
saying,
see
I've been
people walk
dealing with this.
safely.
And I go
That's
almost
it.
every weekend camping
Right.
with my horse trailer, and
Well,
every year
hopefully-
it gets worse.
Putting the sidewalk in and renegotiating where those parking areas are is gonna make the street actually safer for driving and walking,
Yeah, because
which is exactly what we're trying to do. So,
Brandon?
perfect.
Yeah, I just want to point out a couple of things and then make a suggestion. One thing, it's not going to push the car out 4 feet. If you look at where people park, they park up against the wall. A lot of times they park so they can open the door on the passenger side. So that door will be opening over the sidewalk. And
Keep going.
okay, so it's not quite 4 feet, but I think we should just do away with the diagonal parking on the Adams Block side.
I was
because
gonna raise my hand for that.
You free up some sight line coming from
It's
Summer
terrible.
Street.
Terrible.
So
Yeah.
I would.
I think the
park
safety
along
committee
line.
has had those
Parking-
conversations too.
Parking still
Sorry.
on the church side, and as far as people getting out into the street, if you're parking in front of the library, you're getting out into the street. So that's a moot point to me, but I think that diagonal parking on that side should go. You're gonna cut down a little bit on it, but like I said, there's more parking up on School Street and stuff, and then you'll have a sidewalk and everything.
Duly noted. Did you
I
have
mean, we
some-
are gonna have to remark it once they pave it anyway, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have to remark.
Well, I guess whatever Randy marks it out at, is what you
That's what's
get.
gonna happen.
I think they should go to parallel park that whole strip.
Which is the legal way.
It'll help getting out of Summer Street.
Yeah. Which is the worst intersection in town, by far.
Oh,
You guys want to have the safety committee look at it?
No.
Ah,
Talking about it now. What do you think?
That seems like the most appropriate avenue. I mean, I definitely think it needs to be
I
reviewed.
mean, they've already looked at it at length with the crosswalks 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah, the
And-
safety
and-
committee did.
And they're constantly driving it now, so I don't think it would take that long for them to discuss what they think would be the best way to go on that.
Yeah, and
Yes,
backing
sir.
into the street.
Do we have
that
any-
diagonal part.
Hey, I have my hand up.
You gotta let other people talk.
Yeah. It's always about Brandon.
Mr. Chairman of the Safety Committee,
Are there, this is DDC, are there design drawings for the downtown,
There have been, but from what I'm just hearing, they need to get red marked. So yes, there are. We can give them to
by
you.
a civil engineer or whoever?
Yep,
Okay. Will you please deliver those to us?
yes, I have them in a PDF. I'll email them to you from the kitchen table.
Thank you.
The parking is laid out in that drawing.
Yes. Mhm. While we're on me, can I ask a question then? Or do you want to move on to something else and I'll do that at public
oh, we're
opinion
talking
area?
about the street screen?
Yes.
Okay.
So we got the amazing news that our $100,000 got approved and our scope got changed for the complete street, so we're real happy about that, which is allowing all this to happen. We also just recently got in that our shared streets grant scope was changed, and we were allowed to have that also approved to be extended into next year. So we've got some time to get that done. With that being said, Vibram has been the ones to help us out with the engineering on that shared streets project, which is the sidewalk that goes from Vibram to
Main Street.
Main Street with the railing, bringing that down. I was going to ask, and you don't have to make a decision tonight, whether or not I would like to propose to Vibram that they have sketch drawings already of what that's going to look like, and I would love to have them put out like along the park area so people can see that that's coming, that's going to happen. I think that would be great public, just for them to know things are happening in the downtown and that's going to be coming along, because that should be coming sometime in the spring-ish of next year. We should be starting work on that side. So, if you guys are cool with that, I was going to ask Vibram about that.
One second. You're okay with the safety committee looking at that?
Absolutely.
Can- Pete, you mind emailing everybody and getting them together? All right, thank you. Sheila?
Are you gonna change the parking on School Street as well?
The angled parking?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we needed to there.
No,
That
that's-
was able to
in
stay
the drawing
angled and
as it
actually,
is.
what?
That stayed in the drawings as it is.
That stayed in the drawing as angled.
So you're gonna
But-
remove it in front of Adams Block, but not,
Yeah. That's much wider there, that section of School Street.
Right. And I believe that Vibram had their parking going that way too, but they had a concern whether that was safe for them to do that or not either. But those are discussions that we have to bring up with Vibram when we start talking to them too, about how that parking might change if it does at all. But it did make it a lot safer, so when people got out of their cars, they could get right on a sidewalk. Because that whole sidewalk is coming down to street level. So if you did park there, even at an angle, you're not having to walk behind your car or in front of your car to get all the way down to the corner to get up onto the sidewalk. You walk
but you
right onto
still
the
have,
sidewalk.
if you're backing out from that first spot, you're taking your life in your hands, same way you are on Main
I
Street.
think most of the all of Main Street we're doing that right now, because none of this is the way that parking is supposed to be laid out anymore, so.
All right.
I would agree with you on that, Sheila, but we can have the safety committee look at that.
All right, so. Go ahead, Ray.
I got one question on that about with Vibram.
Yeah,
Now that whole sidewalk's coming down the street level,
yes.
how you gonna get in the park?
They've already got that ironed out. We've got, a couple of steps on, I believe it was a couple of steps on the, Main Street, Summer Street block
sign.
area, and then there's a handicap ADA ramp that's being put in too, so people can get up inside. It's real nice. It's gonna be real sharp.
All right. All right. So we have a Cultural Council annual grant application for $7,100 to promote arts and sciences in North Brookfield. And we've been asked to okay that. There is no match for the town, and it's for $7,100, and we do it every year. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the Cultural Council annual grant for $7,100.
So moved.
Second.
All right, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Do we have anything else before we go to public comment period? Okay, Jamie, Ralph, anything? All right, public comment period. All right, announcements. Still no, all right. We have hydrant flushing happening from October 1st to October 31st. Tri-Valley's at the Senior Center Tuesday, October 14th at 11 a.m. to discuss their services. Are you gonna be there at that one, Ralph?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
We're having a meeting with COA and Tri-Valley after, and trying to bring more services to the seniors.
Excellent.
That's what we have.
Excellent. So we have some job openings. We have the seasonal snowplow drivers. Winter is fast approaching and we are short-staffed in our highway department. So if you're interested in that, please go to the town website and fill out for that. If you're interested,
I gave the highway department's number if they can't find it online.
yeah, if you require assistance, you call Kim in the highway office at 508-867-0213. And then, do you have any other announcements?
I do not.
The auction, I forgot to add.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
you want to give us the update?
Yeah,
Since you got it right there?
Auction was completed and we got $10,937 from it.
Okay.
And that will go to free cash.
All right, now, will that be free cash this year or next year?
That's the accountant, I honestly don't know, I just did the auction.
Excuse me?
So the money from the auction that just got completed, will that be in free cash this fall or next
No, it
year?
will not.
So that will be next
It's
year?
an FY '26 receipt, and that will have to roll over for next year's free cash.
Okay, so that's how that works, everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, brother. All right, so we got grant application sign-offs coming up. We're working on policies. They're actively being written to be presented to the board by Mr. Trinacosta and Ms. Kolarski. We have trunk or treat, which we announced earlier, and that is 5:30 to 7:30, October 31st on the Common, and the senior center will be open. And if you want to have a trunk in the trunk or treat, setup starts at 4. All right. Any other pending stuff you guys want to talk about in the future?
Well, I'll talk to you.
I don't believe it.
Really?
All right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you.